Welcome to the Marketing is Fuck group discussion with Trevor Hunter, Spencer McSade, and Jose Pera.
What are good ways to generate more leads from a travel niche or blog? Or a travel niche blog?
Travel niche blog. Or my niche is travel. Well, my niche is actually travel and personal development. So I guess I can kind of explain what I'm trying to do with it to give you a better idea.
Perfect.
What I'm doing is like I'm an independent travel agent. So I'm trying to use my blog to kind of like leverage that and get more like clients. But I'm also doing a personal development side of it. So how I'm tying those together is I'm trying to get more clients to book with me. And I was thinking about doing like yoga retreats or like anything that has to do with like developing yourself. So like a Tony Robbins event or something, and kind of tie that in with the personal development side. So it kind of goes with travel. But that's kind of like where I'm at, and that's what I'm heading. That's where I'm heading. So
I think you got a good concept to start off. I think you're doing a lot of the right things right off the bat. I'll start there and compliment you with that. I think the blog's a really great idea. I've seen you on social. We talked about it last night. I think you're doing real good on social. If anything, in the organic side of it, I would say you could just ramp up that volume. Other than that, just doing some of the basic stuff that I'm sure you've heard Jose talk about, like hashtagging correctly and that kind of thing. That's all the organic social side. What's up, Jose?
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Jose?
What's good, Jose?
Where was I? Yeah, so I think you're doing good on social. Oh, by the way, Jose, we're answering Brad's question. I put it in the group chat right here in Zoom. So we're answering his question, what are good ways to generate more leads from a travel blog? And Brad was just explaining that what he's trying to do with it is basically kind of attack like a travel and a personal development niche, like a combined niche. So he was talking about, booking travel events for like Tony Robbins events or like yoga retreats or like something like that. And I was telling him that I think he's doing pretty good on social to start off on the organic side of it. And I think that tying those two things together is a really good way to kind of, target a certain audience. And I was telling him that as far as organic and social goes, I think he's doing a pretty good job and he could probably just ramp up the volume with that. But there's also a ton of other things that he could be doing. And I think that you would probably have a lot of good stuff to say about it. So what do you think? Jose?
Jose, do you have audio?
I'll take that as a no.
Yeah.
He's not muted.
Excuse me.
Okay, well, I'll touch on it while he's getting his audio figured out. Are you trying to go all organic or paid as well?
Well, eventually I'm gonna start doing like Facebook ads and stuff like that. But right now, yeah, it's all organic.
I don't know what your budget is, but if it was me, I would begin Facebook ads yesterday, even at $5 a day. Just start gathering that data, because the more Facebook, you need conversions essentially to get Facebook to learn, your data or learn, so you can build a good lookalike audience. So, start off with $5 a day. What is that? $30 a week. 35. Yeah, $35 a week. And then, roll that out and test your area. And do you have a website where they can actually, so what's your goal at the end of the day? As far as if I see your Facebook ad in my newsfeed and I click it, do you want to capture my information? Do you want me to fill out a survey, or do you want me to send you some money or something like that? I mean, what's your goal?
I mean, that's the problem. I don't really have a goal yet. I mean, this is all really pretty new for me. So I'm still like in the beginning. This is like very beginning stages. This is like baby stages for me. So, I mean, that's why I'm asking the question. Any information I can get to kind of help me.
I don't know anything about your industry. My gut is blindly going into it. I would probably get a Facebook ad set up, put them to your site to answer a really simple questionnaire, and reward them, and do it a two-stage deal. Like, do you want this free travel guide for, whatever?
Yeah.
And if, they that's their draw, that's the free giveaway. On page 1, you capture their email address. They, you down here, it's, click here to, retrieve your gift or whatever. And then on next page, it's like, fill this out. They've kind of halfway committed now. If you hit them for the survey right off the bat, you might lose them. So, you get their email address, you get the easy thing first, and then stage 2, you get the hard thing, which is the additional information. Are you planning a vacation in the next 6 months? Are you, the questions that you need to know, and keep it to 5, and make it drop downs, or, try to not make it where they have to write shit out, where they can just click, boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Because really all you care about, I think, is their name, their email, and do they want to travel this year? And and those 3 things, there may be something else, but then they're in your email campaign because they signed up on the previous page. You kind of have an idea of where they are vacation wise. I might would ask where they would want to go, because everybody's vacation is totally differently. So then you can start putting packages together for, Florida people and, people who want to go to Mexico and so forth. And then you I would probably segment that off in my email campaign, like MailChimp. I would create a list for whatever the areas are, however you generalize the world, European and Japan and so forth. And, you do Japan vacation, and you do that email to those 7 people or whatever, however, what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I see what you're getting at.
Because the thing that kind of blew me away is Taylor asked me about that Mexico deal earlier. $1,500 for 2 people. Like, I never would have thought I could go to Mexico for $1,500. Like, I don't do vacations. I never slow down, so I can't take the last time I planned a vacation really. I mean, I'll take a weekend getaway and so forth, but I don't even have my passport's expired. So the $1,500. So the thing is if I saw the ad, I would probably pick Switzerland. Switzerland's on my brain right now because it's gorgeous. And if you sent me an email that said, "Hey, go to Switzerland for $2,700," I'd be kind of shocked that I could go to Switzerland for $2,700. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I see what you're getting at. And it's getting more like detailed with what you're targeting, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, and Facebook ads, there's nothing better for to get granular with it than Facebook ads, in my opinion.
Okay. No, yeah, that's been in the back of my mind, so I'm definitely gonna ramp up on that and start getting into it.
And you can set your budget. I don't know what kind of financial situation you're in, but you can set your budget very low, and you can run ads for 3 days. If you only have $15 a week to spare, run ads for 3 days, pause it on the next, on Thursday, and then start it back up on Monday again. I would start gathering data in some manner.
Okay. Yeah, because my budget's pretty low right now, but I'm setting money aside right now, so definitely start doing that and just be consistent with it.
Jose, do you have audio now?
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay!
My bad. I've never used this thing before.
We're having Esto problems.
Estimate problem?
Esto, equipment superior to operator.
Oh. I laugh because I am horribly bad when it comes to like the machine and the technology and all this kind of stuff. But like consulting has to do with understanding this crap. But a lot of times I'm like, hold on, give me a minute. Hold on, give me a second.
You're in the right
I'm
industry.
gonna get you the result. But give me a second.
So what do you have for Brad on the
You can
travel
figure it out.
bit, Jose?
I just heard money for budget. What are you guys trying to spend money on?
Oh, Spencer, you want to read that question again?
Yeah, Jose, I just chatted you the question, but Brad's question is, what are good ways to generate more leads from a travel niche blog? We were kind of talking about the different ways he can do that through social, email marketing. He can do organic versus paid, Facebook ads, Google AdWords. There's a bunch of different options. So it's just kind of a matter of where he should start, because obviously, he's not running around, with an enormous budget everywhere. So it's kind of a matter of building him a funnel and a campaign that'll work for him that he can build up into. I think I just compartmentalized that pretty well.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I think I read it too earlier. It's really, when you look at social and everything that you have options to, you got to look at that as distribution channels.
Okay.
So you want to pick all the channels that you want to appear on, and then you want to create content specifically for that, that's native to the platform. Now, this is going to be creating sort of organic leads over time. Then you also use these as networking platforms as well. So you're sort of pushing the needle to get your leads. And then depending on the content that you create, if you're sticking a blog, a great thing you want to focus on is to, over the next, 6 to 12 months, is to really understand how to optimize your blog for search, so that you create awesome bingeable content that just gets ranked on its value alone.
Yeah,
because this is going to be a low cost, long tail effort that if you create something that's beneficial to whoever you're trying to market to, people are gonna the algorithms do a great job of serving you to the right people.
So you're talking about SEO, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So get with Daniel.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys have figured out, a lot of the times it's funny as it sounds, it's not that difficult. You just want to find out what it is. Like if you're doing travel, you already know what are we in fall?
Yeah.
So you can create like a 10 great places to go in fall if you're in Northern or Southern California.
Okay.
And then you create, what's great when it comes to SEO and all that kind of stuff, you're looking for 2,000 to 4,000 words. That comes tactical, but you can get really filler and you can get granular and all that kind of stuff about it. And then you want to create content that just recently, I like the word that some guys that I follow for blogs, you want to create content that's binge-worthy.
Okay.
Say that again. What was the last?
Content that's
binge-worthy?
Yeah. So like if I'm on your website and okay, cool. I'm on your website and you delivered me like the videos that you've been doing, Trevor, the short videos that you made on YouTube.
Yeah.
They're quick. They're specific, they're visual. You can make 150 of those, and those would be binge worthy because someone could just go 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way down.
Yeah.
I got you.
Because no one has to go anywhere else for that content.
Yeah, you can have them stay in one spot. They can stay on the platform and just like consume.
Yeah.
Well, and now that's actually extremely important on the Facebook ad side because of the Facebook ads relevance. If like somebody gets to that, like say you did the survey bit and you brought them through the email, they did the survey, thank you for completing the survey, and that page, I would put them on content that's relevant to them so they stay on your site for another 10 minutes reading shit. I mean, keep it really intriguing to them. And I think actually, yeah, you can do that. You could actually do, all right, so you got a Facebook ad for Japan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all, he's whining. Go sit down. You got a Facebook ad for Japan. You got a landing page for a Japanese vacation. You've got the survey that links, you capture the email, then you capture their survey information. Now you lead them to the top 4 places in Tokyo to see, the top 7 historical landmarks in Hiroshima to see, and so forth. So now you've got a whole segment here that really engages that user.
Got it. Okay.
So and Facebook is going to really reward you for that, because now your user is massively engaged and they did exactly what they're supposed to. They checked all the boxes and then spent time on your site. So when it comes time for the bid next time, and we don't really know how this works. Daniel may actually be able to chime in on this, because I don't know the exacts of how it works, but the way I've understood it is almost like the three variables for your ads are bid, ad relevance, and engagement, I think is what the third one is. But essentially you have go ahead, Daniel.
So I was saying, as Trevor was saying, just to piggyback off that, it's, he hit pretty much everything. But for that, for example, when it comes to Facebook, it's bid's huge too. But in terms of, for example, Facebook, Google, no matter what platform you do it, there's a bunch of other things. For example, click-through rate, impressions, stuff like that. So the bid, it depending on how much. So as I was saying to Trevor earlier, you want to bid within your budget. Let's say, for example, if you do keyword research and you find out, hey, this person is doing that's advertising for the same thing you're advertising as well, is bidding much higher than you are. You may not want to bid higher than, as high as he is, because he may have a bigger budget than you do. So bid within your budget. Don't get scared if somebody's always going to have a bigger budget.
Yeah.
So bid within your budget, but you have to bid. If you're on a budget, you have to bid strategically, right? You have to gather all that data and you have to analyze that. Once you analyze that data, then you could make, like, for example, better decisions of what keywords to increase bids for, lower bids for, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, so the way I understand it, so if you have a low budget for your bid, and we all do, we all want our budget to be as low as it possibly can. I mean, no matter how much money you have, you don't want to spend what you don't have to. The three big categories for Facebook, the way I've explained it, and I could be wrong in some senses, but I don't think I am, is like you get 10 points theoretically. So you get 10 points for the potential for the ad relevance, you get 10 points potential for the user engagement, and 10 points for the bid. And so if you have a low bid, you may get 5. But if you have kick-ass engagement and ad relevance, you end up with 25 points. You have a competitor that has a big-ass budget, they may get 10 on the bid and 5 and 5, and you actually still win the bid even though you have less money, less dollars, because Facebook puts a lot of weight into the user engagement.
Got it. Okay.
Absolutely.
You understand it too, Daniel?
Oh yeah, that's so. Trevor's right. I think again, the way Facebook is set up, Facebook doesn't care how much you bid. The way Facebook is a business, it's going to make money. And the way it makes money is by delivering, like, for example, on the advertising side, it delivers ads that are hyper relevant to what people are looking for, right? So I think when it comes to Facebook ads, I think ad relevance is probably, I would say it's probably the highest thing I would go for. Ad relevance. How relevant is the ad to people who are searching for it? Because if the ad's not relevant, then again, people are going to be discouraged from Google. Facebook, they're going to spend less time on the platform, and Facebook itself doesn't want that, because at the end of the day, it's a business and they want to make money.
And Facebook is doing a really, really good job of playing the long game. They're not, they could essentially set out and go, we want the most money, from every bidder, and swamp us with ads, and essentially they're going to kill their own platform. But they're playing the long game and being extremely smart about it. And with this last batch of changes, it even got worse or better, however you want.
Absolutely.
Jose, you got something on this?
At the end of the day, as funny as it sounds, it's not about gaming the system anymore. It's about providing the content that the end user is gonna really want.
Yeah.
Or engage with anyways. Like back in the day, you saw it with Google with how you can rank to first page by doing all kinds of tactics and all this kind of stuff. But again, they have more money and they're smarter, so they're going to figure out who's gaming and how to get rid of you. And you see the curve with any social media, any platform. The minute that a new platform pops up, like completely annihilate and dominate that space, because there's going to be the learning curve for that business, and it's always going to be about the end consumer, no matter what. Instagram 2 years ago, you could like abuse that platform left and right and do all kinds of stuff to game the system. But now all the algorithms in place, it's about end user, pretty much respecting the end user and being about them. Same with Google. The rankings now, they'll flip up on you. And if you can deliver something of more value than the guy who's been ranked first, you're going to get replaced and all that kind of stuff. And the same happens with ads. Anything that you put in there that performs at a dominating thing. There's I think Gary Vee, I don't know if he did it today, but he talks about his 60-second club. Do you guys remember when he first started that?
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I partake, but I kind of came in way late. I actually don't know anything about the beginning of it.
Okay, so the only thing is that he said, turn on my notifications. If you comment within the first minute and say something of value, you have a chance to win something. So he forced engagement onto his platform, which allowed him to like grow significantly, because his account, it told Instagram that his account was moving the needle so significantly based on user engagement that it allowed him to grow significantly over that time period that he really went crazy with it.
All right, so back up. What did he do exactly?
So what he did was he decided to say, okay, anybody, it was like a contest. He says anybody that comments within the first 60 seconds using hashtag 60-second club and leave a comment of some kind of value, don't just say hashtag 60-second club first time here or whatever, you enter to win a chance to win some of his like swag and his gear and his books signed and all that stuff. But the caveat to Instagram was you had to turn on notifications. So what notification does is it gives you a buzz on your phone and it says, hey, Gary just posted something. So he forced the lever of people engaging, and it boosted his metrics through the roof. Because it told Instagram.
All right, so if I say I get my phone and the new Instagram that I set up or repurposed today, and I said, comment hashtag I want to win $1,000, and in 2 weeks I gave somebody $1,000, and they had the notifications thing. Can I see that they have notifications active?
I don't believe you can. I don't think there's like a setting anywhere that says they have notifications. You just look at the analytics that runs on the back end when you start realizing people are actually engaging in the
So essentially, the winner, the people are supposed to turn on notifications, but they don't really have to.
Yeah,
correct.
Get on there.
But you go back in and you get to see what time people posted. So you're only going to award people within that first section anyways. So it's incentivizing the individual to engage right away. I tell people, obviously Gary can say in the first 60 seconds because he scales to that point. Yeah. I tell people just say within the first hour.
60 days.
Yeah. I tell people within the first hour. If you can comment on any of my, like I'm going to do a contest over the next month. And if you can comment on any of my posts within the first hour, all you got to do is turn notifications to be aware when I post. Leave a comment and I'll reward you this.
I bet $100 would do it. I mean, I bet people would do it for $100.
Dude, yeah.
Absolutely.
Easily.
$100. There's a caveat to this. You want to make sure that it's in line with whatever it is your niche is. So if my niche, like for Brad, if my niche is in travel, I'm not going to give away something that's tech. You know what I mean? Unless it's a GoPro, one of those travel GoPros.
Yeah.
People can you want to make sure that it stays within line, because what ends up happening is say like we have a brand that we're working with and we're like, oh, we're going to give an iPhone, but like our niche has nothing to do with
you end up with people who are not in your audience.
Exactly. you're gonna just be people that are hanger-ons and like, hey, I'm gonna wait till he gives away his new phone.
I
Or
need to,
another
so
phone.
I would need to do a free website, a free $4,000 website project.
You can do stuff
Or
like
like a
that,
huge
yeah.
discount or something. Like a huge discount.
Discount, whatever you want to
Yep.
do. If it's specifically for marketing, you just be like, because I've been doing the same thing, thinking about what it is in line with the marketing aspect that I can give away. How about this? A logo.
Yeah.
Free logo. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, low
Yeah,
cost, minimum
put that
effort,
down.
but it's huge on the reward side.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Yeah,
$370 value. Well, it's
Yeah.
$370 in my world. I don't know other places it's more, but
I think
Right,
like
right.
the best thing you'd want to do in like a giveaway situation, for example, if you're giving away a logo, you want to highlight the cost benefit. So for example, you're giving away a logo. Let's say you charge $1,000 to design a logo, and you're giving that away for free. You know what I mean? You want to highlight, say, hey, I'm giving something away $1,000 for free. So the people who are entering that competition, look, they're gonna say to themselves, you know, hey, I could get this for free. The value of that is $1,000.
Yeah,
That's such a steal.
That's a good marketing.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
that's
You
huge.
know, there's a lot of marketers where they talk about, oh, look at my value. There's like this huge list. You're going to
There
be
you
in my
go.
inner circle. That's a value of $250. You're going to get messages from this, and that's a value of $700. But yeah, that's a great point in regards to how you pitch what you're given.
so
And for, like,
okay. So
let's
let's go back to Brad for a second. You have I don't know where the revenue from a travel agent comes from. Do you get paid by the end user, or do you get paid? I mean, do you get paid by the person who's going on vacation to find the service, or do you get paid by like Orbit to use them?
No, yeah, I get paid by the travel companies that we work with. So pretty much just get commission from like travel suppliers.
So
And it costs the clients. It doesn't cost them anything. So it's just strictly commission from the travel suppliers.
is it a fixed enough amount where you could do 20% off of your vacation?
Yeah, like I could use my commission towards whatever and take that off of their whatever their price is. So yeah, that could definitely.
I'll say this, Brad. Is it for example, let's say for example, you know, I don't know how it works in the travel industry, but let's say for example, I'm like an agency and I'm paying, I don't know, I'll just use like $100 for example's sake.
Okay.
And you know, off that $100, let's say for example you get a commission like 20%. What 20% of a $100 is what 20. But let's say for example you scale that. If you do the math and you do like for example 100 people, if you get at least 100 people a day or so to sign up, you try to scale it instead of looking at numbers like percentage wise. Percentages, like I don't know if like the percentage for you based on the price of like a travel plan or something, if you get commission off that, it may be a small amount, but I think one way to look at it is in terms of if you scale it to 10, 50, 100, 1,000 people, you know, incrementally, like bit by bit, everything accumulates. So if you get $10 from one person, all you have to do to make $500 a day is get 50 people to sign up, and so on and so on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I get you.
Make sure when you do it that way, because you're getting a commission from the business itself, make sure that it's clear that the sort of like a rebate or whatever it is that you're pitching in, it's clear that it's coming from you and not the company.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Because I've seen people stumble when it comes to that, because then the issue can end up where they complain to the company, and the company is thinking, we didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure it's very clear that this benefit is coming from you and your business or your blog or your whatever the name you're running with. Make sure it's clear that it's from you.
Okay.
But also maybe have like a disclaimer in case like shit goes south for some reason, and like I don't know, like a wild example, like somebody like they didn't spend the amount they were expecting to spend or something like that. Let's
Yeah.
say you don't want to be you kind of want to cover your ass pretty much. you know, I mean, if you're working on like commission base, you want to cover your ass.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe like a disclaimer, but not necessarily at the start, maybe at the end. You know, and for example, where to place a disclaimer is not necessarily a big thing. You could make it like a pop-up, and you know, as time goes on, if like you build out your site, you put like the more you analyze it to see, you know, what works in terms of like user design and stuff like that, that the disclaimer like is no problem. But you also you always just want to make it visible just to kind of cover your ass, because you don't want to batter it at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
No, absolutely. That's good info right there.
What is that? There's like it's called something. What the hell is it called? Not terms and service. It's like a
Yeah.
small print.
Yep. Fine print.
Yeah, the fine print that explains all the rules and regulations and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Tell you what,
You
like,
have to make it clear too. Whenever you run a competition on Instagram, there's like read the terms and service to be clear, because they change that stuff like crazy before you do anything. But a lot of the times you have to release Instagram and Facebook of any liability in regards to the giveaways that you're running and all that stuff.
yeah,
Mhm.
a good
You have
like
to make it clear
platform.
in that fine print that says they have nothing to do with your thing.
Yeah.
And Spencer,
But yeah, they do
That's
a
the
good
problem.
job in the terms of service to explain what you got to talk about.
There you go. Let's see. A good platform for like giveaway, I see a lot of influencers use nowadays across from like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. That platform is like set to keep up with like the latest trends in terms of terms and policies for Instagram side, and the company side pretty much is it's called Gleam, Gleam, yeah, Gleam giveaway. And I haven't checked it out
Oh,
personally,
yeah.
but that's like a big one I see a lot of people use nowadays, just to kind of like take the guesswork in terms of policies for the company that you're working with. Like for example, if you're doing a giveaway on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube, just to kind of take the liability off like that side of things, the company side of things.
I'll definitely check that.
So
I'll check that out.
that's like just, you know, it's like for giveaways, it's again a bit having a goal in mind when you're giving something away is also good. I mean, you're giving something away, which is, it doesn't require anything from like the end user in terms of like any skill or stuff like that, but
Mhm.
you just want to be clear in terms of like policies and stuff like that, just to kind of cover your ass.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
We want to dive into Dark Post.
Yeah, let's do that
Let's
next.
see.
Before we do that, can I say real quick? Right now, Facebook, you used to be able to do it. You can't do it right now. If I remember the terms and service correctly, again, double check. Instagram, you can run competitions where you incentivize the audience to share one of your photos to enter. So you share this photo in your feed and tag me and use this hashtag.
Oh yeah.
The reason why
That's
that
great.
works is because you amplify your ad spend. So if I'm giving away like I have a brand that's just a quote space. One of the first things I started. So I'll be like, I'll give away a $50 Barnes & Noble's gift card. I was like, all I ask is that you share one of my quotes. It has my brand name on the quote. So when they share it, all you have to do is tag me and use this hashtag if I make up a hashtag. What that allows you to do is you amplify your reach, because now you're in front of their audience, and all you have to do is ask them to do that. Again,
Not do
double
that on
check.
Facebook anymore.
Yeah, double check terms and services, because you used to be able to do this on Facebook as a requirement to enter, but not anymore. If you do that, if you ask somebody to share to enter your
It's a gateway or
to
something.
enter your giveaway, yeah, you get dinged for that. But they haven't updated that as of yet, and I checked maybe like 2.5 weeks ago. That's why I'm saying read the terms and services just to make sure that that hasn't changed, because you don't want to get in trouble. But I noticed that a lot of my friends, they enter giveaways and like there's this random post in their feed and they're happy to do it because they really love what's in there. you can do that with stories too. Just be like, hey, share my story and tag me. And then based on everybody that does that, you just pick a winner from there.
There you
Yeah.
go. I
Yeah.
think one thing Jose says, he hit like a key point. It's you want to have that hashtag. The reason why you want to have the hashtag, you want to make it trackable. Like, for example, if you go on Instagram or Facebook, if you click on a hashtag, that hashtag pops up. So to see the reach and everything like that, to analyze it more in detail, make it trackable. Make sure it's like a unique hashtag, not like a generic hashtag that pretty much everybody has. Like, for example, like if you hashtag like business, business, if you'll find multiple posts on like Instagram and Facebook with that hashtag, but it's something that's specific to you, something that you could recognize right away. So the hashtag is key.
And if you don't know how to search, or searching for hashtags is easy. What I've always done is just go to the thing and start typing shit in until I get no results. When I get no results, I have a good hashtag in my head. I don't know if that's the best way to do it, but
as funny as it sounds, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, you can literally say for Brad, like you could say, "Give me my gift, Brad." Hashtag give me my thing. Give me my giveaway, Brad. It doesn't have to be overly complicated, just as long as the people can remember it and spell it right. The more important too is for that to have them tag you, so that if somebody else sees it, what they like, they can just go back to your profile and reshare it and stuff. But yeah, don't overthink the hashtag. It can be nonsense for the most part, but yeah.
good deal.
I like that a lot. That's genius.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start doing that.
Oh, I'll have a giveaway of some type by the end of the week.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
The
Prolong
dark
it too.
post. And I'll be hitting you up on that, Jose, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So on dark post, who knows dark post?
I have no idea what that is.
Neither do I.
Like,
It's
I'm
a
thinking it's
technical term for just like your Facebook feed running a ad to one of your posts.
What?
Yeah, I don't get.
it's like it's like
You create the ad. It's actually in the ad manager. There's use existing post or create ad. So the intent of it is you actually in the end it looks like an actual post coming from your page, not an ad. And
they're
so
kind of like newsfeed style, like ads.
Right. Right.
yeah. So the benefit is, as when I manage a page, I try to stick with the 80 to 90-10 rule, where 80 to 90% of the content is entertainment, informational, and then 10% sales. So at 10% sales, that kind of gives you one ad every 10 posts, or one salesy ad. So the benefit of a dark post in my head is I can put 10 dark posts out there for each one at a very, very targeted demographic. My Facebook page never sees it. Just the world sees it, that targeted demographic, and it draws them to the page. It has a call to action within it, usually. So that's the synopsis of a dark post. You got anything to add on that? Anybody?
No, I think that pretty much just sums it up.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's like 19 ways to make one, because, not literally, but like you can go to your page and create, like the way I did in the video is the way I do it. But I know there's a way to do it. Like you can create a post on your page and save it as a draft and do it that way. And then there's a way you can go in the ad manager and you can go to the 3 hash marks at the top and create a page post. And then you save that ID, and then there's the other way, which is the way I do it, where you actually build it within the actual ad platform itself. I don't know if there's a difference in those 3 methods. Do y'all?
Not that I've ever noticed. The way I do it, just because it's easier for me, is I load up on my Facebook pages. Like I'll put like with the same instance of like what's entertaining, what is trying to sell, and what's trying to move a needle. I was like, I'll just post as organically as I possibly can, and then I'll set up the create ad section, and just at the end I use an existing post. That way I don't have to make sure that I publish it, that I do this, that I do that. It's already there.
Yeah.
It just has an older date, and then I just go in and I change the what is it when it tells you at the very end, it says use existing posts, and then you can literally scroll through your existing posts and just click whichever one you want.
Yeah.
Or you do the method where you copy that ID and just put it in there.
Yeah. So this gets a little bit more into dark posts and ads in general, but campaign, ad set, and ad. I'm decent with Facebook ads, and I still don't fully grasp when I should create a new campaign, when I should create a new ad set, and when I should create a new ad. Like, I know that, so what I do is everything gets a new campaign, basically. And I'll save my audiences. But from, I think Jose and Daniel are probably the best ones with this. Have y'all figured out in what circumstance it's best to create a new campaign or create a new ad set or just add additional ads to an existing ad set or campaign?
I would say for me, when to create a new campaign. Well, it's for me, it's like it's all based on like I would say like preference, to be honest. Because let's say, for example, advertising. I'm trying to come up with an example. I'm advertising like multiple different products. Obviously, you're going to want to have different campaigns for those multiple different products. But let's say, for example, they're similar in, like, I'm selling luxury men's watches, and then I'm also selling luxury men's like cufflinks and stuff like that. They're similar in terms of like how like the niche that I'm going after, right? But in terms of what I would recommend is having separate campaigns for advertising both of those items. You couldn't put like necessarily everything on the one campaign then advertise. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So would you do like cufflinks on one campaign, watches on a campaign, and then in your ad sets you have Hublot, Patek, Rolex,
Yep.
kind of deal, and then in the ads it gets just that more granular?
Yeah, basically. But like on that too, like another instance where I would use different campaigns would be, for example, different type of goals. Like if I want to generate likes, or if I want to generate like conversions to an e-commerce store, or like conversions to like a sign form up or something like that. That all requires, like, for me, I want to track, like when I go to analyze data in, like, for example, the business manager, I want to see what's working and what's not. Like A/B split testing helps that whenever you're doing, like, if let's say, for example, you're advertising like two things, like you want to test like ad copy and all that stuff. A/B split testing helps, but it all, like, there's multiple times you could use like different. It's kind of like a loaded question, and like everybody's gonna have different answers to it. So I would use it if I have different goals for like different campaigns or like different products, even if they're similar products targeting the same niche. I would still have different campaigns. Why? Because it makes things easier to track.
So me doing a different campaign for everything. I mean, not everything, but like most, like, obviously engagement gets its own campaign, traffic gets its own campaign, retargeting gets its own campaign. But the most I'll usually run, like, I'll have a particular campaign for traffic, and then I'll have one ad set, and then within that ad set, I may have 8 ads. I'll have 4 ads with this copy and 4 separate images, 4 ads with another image and the same copy. I don't actually use the split A/B testing. I've never even opened the thing up. I just that's the way I actually do my A/B testing. Because I don't want to do A/B test. I want to do like an A through G test.
I got you.
So, and then I'll watch that for like a week, and I'll cherry pick which one works. Now, granted, that's not the cheapest way to do it by any means.
Yeah.
But it does get you results fast.
But this is like, for example, this is where we were talking about dark posts, which is like a great topic. This is where dark posts come in. You know, like if you're running what's it called? If you're running a campaign for like 5 different products, right? And it's all going to the same niche. Let's say I have luxury men's watches, cufflinks, ties, tie pins, shoes, and stuff like that. I can't target, like, I don't want to overwhelm my audience with all those 5 ads at once. Let's say I'm running all those 5 ads at once. They're more than likely, if you're a person that's interested in, like, within my audience, you're more than likely going to see multiple ads. I don't want that to happen. So what I could do is use a dark post and make it look like, you know, like, make you not like get overwhelmed with like all the ads that I'm showing you, right? So that's where, I'm glad we touched on this topic. This is like a good example where dark post would come in, where dark post is good for A/B split testing. Like you could do not only A/B split testing, you could do multiple. When I say A/B split testing, it's not necessarily like, oh, just 2 things. Like I say A/B split testing for pretty much everything. If you're doing for all the campaigns, I just say A/B split testing. If you're just trying to see what works and what doesn't. So that's where dark posts would be good if you don't want to overwhelm your audience.
Gotcha. Quick question for you. I don't know if y'all saw the post about the shoes. Taft, I saw an ad for shoes yesterday on Facebook. They were like designer boots and so forth. I do not have anything on my Facebook. I'm not in a shoe group. I don't like any shoe pages. I have no idea how I was targeted, but I am a shoe person. That's probably one of my things that I spend a little bit too much money on. How did they get me? Being that I did not do anything on Facebook, do they have that big of a blanket where anybody within my age range, or what piece of data did they use, you think?
Oh, absolutely.
You could have been a lookalike.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, yeah, I bet so.
It's scary. It's scary how big Facebook is. Like this is, I think, this is like a policy they don't have anymore where, you know, for example, I remember like targeting like people, like if I wanted to target like Spencer, for example, I could only target Spencer. That's scary. So what I'm thinking in my head is that they probably use like cookies from other sites. Like you may not like shoes like on Facebook, but for example, Facebook has like partnered with different sites that are related to that niche. So if you, for example, you go on that site, everything like comes back around. Like the cookies from that site probably had like a pixel like installed on their platform, stuff like that. So you may not like have. You could go to one site and like a week something pops up.
3 weeks ago,
third-party cookies, I believe.
So yeah. So like 3 weeks ago, I went to, I think it's called J Dandy, and I bought a absurd amount of shoes. That could be a trigger to go buy these shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
We could have literally just targeted that brand. You said J Dandy? And just been like males between this age who are likely to da-da-da.
Yeah.
So how do we use that?
And then
that's a scary thing. It's like, okay, so by right, you're not, the whole Cambridge Analytica scandal, it changed the way you could target people. So before you could target people by income, like let's say, for example, if you make 200 plus, I could target you if I'm selling like a high ticket product. But their worker, like I'm trying to figure it out myself, but I don't know how people figure it out. So I don't know, like Taft, I personally know the brand Taft, and they're not like a cheap brand of shoes. They're pretty expensive. So they like, I'm thinking in my head how there are workarounds to the system where you could figure out how to still target people by income. If you could afford the Taft shoes and you love shoes, you could bet you're going to see those ads, and they're still going to come.
So the reason it sparked my interest is because I want to know how they did what they did so that I can do that. So if there was that connector between J Dandy and Taft, how is that a manual thing on Taft's part, or is that more likely a Facebook algorithm where they said,
Jose was saying like it's a lookalike audience. I definitely agree. I don't know J Dandy, that brand. I don't know how much their shoes range, but they probably had like a pixel installed, and Taft probably just created like a lookalike audience, and that was it.
But how does Taft get that lookalike audience from Dandy?
Oh, you could easily, like, when you go to the business manager, you could easily do that. You could easily you could pretty much steal people's audience. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't.
All right.
How you doing?
All right. I tell you, I'll post a video. I'll post a link in the group. That pretty much shows you how to do it, where you could steal. You could target their audience, plus you could target your own audience, and then, just your target audience overall. Let's say, for example, I don't know what's a different brand. Let's say Gucci wanted to do the same thing. Gucci could do the same thing. Steal Taft customers, target to them, and if they know that brand, you could bet they're gonna buy. I have to find that video on YouTube. I found it on YouTube.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's really intriguing. Because since they took the income away, that was like my go-to thing. I never showed an ad to anybody that was under $40,000 a year.
Yeah.
So the question is,
as I said,
buy the shoes.
Do what?
The question is, did you buy the shoes?
2 pairs.
For that, because
if you bought it,
you don't like on Facebook, you don't like any brands, any men's fashion, shoes, or any of that kind of stuff, right?
Nothing.
So for me personally, I think this is where Facebook is executing on a higher level than the marketer.
There you go.
You know how they're taking stuff away from us, like the income and all that kind of, and so we got to figure out workarounds. They're not taking that away from Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook knows exactly how much people
want. Yeah.
They know.
But Facebook probably knows what I spent with Jay Dandy a couple weeks back, and they're like, "Hey,
absolutely,
absolutely, they do."
I mean, if you're saying you didn't like anything, there's nothing I can input on my end to make sure I target you, because you don't have like all the settings are gone on my end. If you're making $300K a year and I can't click that, then I'm not clever. Like because you're saying you don't like any of that stuff.
Yeah, see, my Facebook page, I have, just because I don't like, my Facebook is kind of, I keep it friends, and I don't follow like shoe stuff, because I have a hard enough time resist buying shoes anyways, so I don't need shit popping up on my feed, so I just don't like those pages. And I'm not in like the TDE group. I think I'm in like 4 groups total. I mean, so I don't have, as far as metrics on me and my likes and interest, it's pretty bare. But yet I still see very, very targeted ads to me.
I mean, can't they track IP, not necessarily with what you're doing on Facebook? Like, can't they track you, like, well, I guess my question is, like, is Google sharing information with Facebook?
No, but pixels are on about every site. So that, and if I'm not mistaken, pixels, the Google Pixel is that, or not Google, Facebook Pixel is active even if you're not logged into Facebook.
There you go. But it's active even if you don't come from an ad. You get what I mean? Let's say I have it installed on my website. Somebody goes to it. It's pretty much just going to connect their Facebook profile. And if I have retargeting set up, retarget the ads to them. Or if I put out new ads, push the ads to them.
Yeah, it sounds like it's one of the cases where you just trust Facebook extremely well because they're optimizing the way they're supposed to. They want marketers to win on their platform to take more money.
Yeah, and I let
unfortunate that
everybody to spend, like I told Brad earlier, spend $5 for 2 months and let Facebook learn your conversions. Because from my experience, they know more shit than we do. They're a hell of a lot better at it. But I still have to create the ad to create, to get or create the audience at some level. My audience building could skill set is not what it could be, I guess.
my favorite thing to do with dark posts is building social proof and video views as cheaply as I possibly can. So if I'm going to promote something, I don't know if you guys come across the method, but you guys know you can get followers at like a penny per follower, right? By targeting a global audience.
Nope.
What?
Okay. So you can literally run a global targeting audience of a general, like you could do it with, like if I'm in travel niche, I would go, if I was in Brad's feed and I was running for the growth aspect of an audience, simply an audience that I can respect and build and all that kind of stuff, you can literally run an ad for follows. Instead of targeting the US because it's more expensive, you just go, you type in the word worldwide, English speaking. Back in the day, you could target obviously the income level, so you're not just getting everybody, but you go English speaking worldwide, and then you run your ad and your copy. The copy can literally be if you like if you love travel, like if you love men's footwear, like if you da-da-da. These are growth path methods if you're only focused on building audience. Now, it doesn't necessarily work when you're trying to sell things because a lot of the chances these will not be your buyers, but you can turn these people into your fans.
Got it.
So you
sorry. Can you repeat that part, Jose?
Yeah, which one?
Like, they're not your buyers, they're your fans. Can you kind of just elaborate a little bit on that? Because I kind of don't get what you're saying.
Okay, I got you. I told my friend recently who wants to get into the gaming world and build an audience, right? He wants to do YouTube videos, he wants to play video games online, and he wants some freedom from that kind of stuff. I told him for a very low cost, I'm not saying it specifically, I said, you can become very famous in Peru at a fraction of the cost what it would take you to become very famous in the US.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And he told me, he's like, that makes sense because I remember like a band he used to love, pretty much, he's like, that band only became famous in one country, but they toured there, they lived there, they're like superstars there.
I've heard this
So
before.
when it comes to building your brand, if you're not overly fancy, like in the US, when I run an ad, I ignore California because it's too expensive. I ignore Florida because Florida? California, Texas, New York, and I think it's Florida. There's like 5 states or something. I already know off the top of my head, that's going to eat away at my budget like crazy. But you know what? It's cost efficient? Hawaii. I can run ads to Hawaii all day long and say if I was a surfer or if I did travel or this kind of stuff. So I would only focus on Hawaii because I know it's a fraction of the cost trying to get US audience that speaks English, that has this, da-da-da-da-da. The more granular you get with targeting your audience, the more expensive things get.
Yeah.
But the cheaper it ends up. It really does end up
so
cheap.
you look at your audience as a grading scale. So like I can buy up a huge audience for a low cost, but I don't expect them to purchase anything from me at all. But what I could do is create content that they would love to share, which allows like the dark post. Say I have a video that's funny of a baby falling asleep and falling down, right? I can run that to a low cost audience as a joke or don't like the guy with the it goes back to the guy who ran the avocado post. Yeah. You saw how big his results were simply by targeting a simple ad set. They gotta love avocados. I think he even targeted just women solely because he noticed that it indexed better. But he could have built a fan base around avocados. He could have ran recipes of like avocado toast. He could have done. So this is what I talk about brand building, is that you can go so wide with it, but a lot of people want to get fancy and they say, no, I only want to be famous in California. I was like, well, that's going to cost you some money and that's going to cost you some time and it's going to cost you this. But the same thing going back to the baby.
I'll say this. So you were saying like if you go, the thing with going broad, it's you know you make valuable points, but like if you go broad, it's cheaper. Yes, that's like the key right off the bat. But also, it's if you go broad, you're also gonna get a lot. If your goal is to get likes, you're probably gonna get like a lot of unnecessary likes. If your goal is to get traffic to the website, you're also gonna get a lot of unnecessary traffic. The more like detailed,
You don't do that for traffic.
you get. Oh yeah, no, I know, but like the more like specific you get, yeah, I get that it costs a little more, but like I see what you're saying.
Well, Jose, you're talking about specifically for getting.
There's two trains of thought. There's building your brand, and then there's executing on your outcome. So you can build your brand to scale, doing finding out what, like the growth hacks and all that kind of stuff. But it's on you to how deep you're going to build with these people. A lot of people, they run these growth hacks, but they give no value to the end consumer. But in the same kind of aspect, you're thinking like the idea, oh, if I put this thing on and somebody, like I was sitting down with a young man who's working to become a rapper, and he posted something that got play in some part of Africa. That person shared it and it got 50,000 views or 50,000 plays for his Spotify.
Wow.
So this is the idea. One side's brand building, and then it's your responsibility to build the sort of the business aspect of the conversions and the outcomes. That's why I say you got to grade them, because ultimately I would not send these people to my links because they're going to mess up your metrics on the back end. But if I'm serving an audience, like if I was, like I could start a meme page tomorrow. I don't know if you guys follow meme pages, but sometimes they'll service meme pages and then they'll have those dark posts where they send them out to boost views, to boost likes, so that when so check this out. You put a video, you share an ad to the US for views. You get 10,000 views, but you get 2 likes. When you try to share that to convert, people are like, why does this matter? You only got 2 likes after 10,000 views. But if you can serve the right post to the right people that are going to engage, that are going to like, what allows you to do is then you can trickle that back to your targeted audience that'll convert at a higher rate. It's the same thing with the Instagram. I only want to follow somebody that has 10,000 followers and it's only following 3 people.
Yeah.
They call it social proof in marketing. So you can go a dark post social proof at low cost and then dark post the same post to convert. So I tell a lot of people it always has to do with what it is you're trying to accomplish. So you could build brand. You could do the same thing with, I ran an ad for a local real estate agent, something that they had on Instagram, and I just boosted it for views, and I made sure to go not so granular. And I was able to get like a couple hundred views for just a few bucks, and I was like, oh, that's great. And then again, I could have boosted it for likes, and I could have retargeted and all this stuff. But I was testing it out to see how it works within the real estate, because personally, I would like to work with real estate agents. So I've been figuring that out. But again, yeah, absolutely. Like, don't get me wrong, those are growth hacks. But anytime you do a growth hack, you have to make sure that there's a proper system that you're going to use it for. Because I see a lot of guys that just sort of run and gun. and all that kind of stuff. It's like the guys who pay for fake followers.
Okay.
It's about the execution on the back end that's going to give you the result. So if I could have one post that.
Oh, Spencer's gone. Spencer had to bounce. Did y'all see the thing pop up?
Oh yeah, I just saw it.
Yeah, we had to bounce. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I talked about the paid followers the other day, and we all do it. I mean, I do it on every single account we manage. That's a brand new account.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to follow a page with 17 people following it, you know. But it almost always pans out to where, you know, the fake ones fall off in, you know, 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but they produce enough good content in that window of time that real ones have came in, so it levels off in 6 months. There's still growth, and it's all real people.
Yeah.
That was my dirty truth video.
A lot of the times when I do Instagram, if you're going to do a post, I target Philippines because Spanish, because I speak Spanish. Me less, but I can go deeper with that audience. The same as this. Did you know that it's cheaper to target Spanish-speaking only people in the U.S.?
No.
Because there's no competition there. Well, I don't want to say no, but there's no one servicing the Spanish-speaking market in the U.S. So you can get a cheaper cost because everybody's trying to get all the English speakers. So everybody's
so theoretically,
to
I could run a web design ad tomorrow for Spanish-speaking small business owners and pay significantly less money than.
Yep.
I don't speak Spanish.
Find someone that does.
Yeah. That's why I always tell people, do you speak 2 languages? Because then you can figure this.
That's interesting.
So I have that personal benefit because it's a second language. So say if you just hired one customer service rep that was bilingual.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
You can service the ad. Yeah. And then that way you have it in your arsenal to go that kind of way. I know it's not significantly cheaper, but again, it's always about where everybody's swimming. The problem is that everybody goes to the same places all the time, and we're like fighting each other, and we push the cost up. So it's looking for that white space that you can dominate and then bring that domination to the market that's going to convert price-wise.
Gotcha.
You could sort of build that too on local markets. So like with restaurants, I would tell them just run, what are they called? Instagram story ads, because they're not a fraction of the cost, but they're significantly lower, and your brand gets to pop up repeatedly in people's feeds. So it's like you paying for a commercial you couldn't afford on a TV. So your bowl of whatever food it'll pop up, and you can target it over again.
You do. Well, let's switch gears for just a minute. I want to be a little selfish, and I just created that new Instagram account, or repurposed it, whatever. So before we wrap up,
what's your handle, Trevor?
I don't know.
I'll give you a follow right now.
Finger_marketing.
Yeah, that was it. So I took an old account and deleted everything and just put this, started it back up. So if I want to share my tutorial type stuff and generate website views, YouTube views, and just gain a following, what's if you look at the page right now, a little while ago, I posted a screenshot of the YouTube thing, and nope, that's not it. That's definitely not it. She has 7 fingers, though. That's interesting.
All right, Trevor, I just gave you a follow.
I posted a screenshot of the YouTube, like what YouTube looks like. And apparently you can't post links in your comments.
No.
No.
Instagram doesn't like allow that because it's like there's a lot of bots that auto comment for. I don't for the for the life of me, I don't know why people. One thing I never recommend anybody to do is like put on autopilot like engagement. For example, comments. Like for example, I'll post something, people comment
No.
like something that's totally not relevant, like nice shot or something like that. And it's clearly like just a picture with the quote or something like that. So don't like put on autopilot that. So that's one of the reasons you can't post comments because it's like spam and like Instagram doesn't want that basically.
Okay, so what's my angle?
I once saw somebody post a spam about. Oh, what's your angle?
Yeah.
Again, you want to. It's going to be about distribution and targeting and networking. Pretty much the same thing that works with Facebook. It's got to look interesting enough to get people to stop because of the way they use the platform. Then the the description has to be valuable enough for them to say to be more interested. It's again, you're looking at a funnel. First, you want the impressions, then you want the profile visits, then you want the follow. Impressions you can get thousands, but then you're going to look at the conversion rates, and then you're going to have to build a strategy based on that. So you're gonna figure that out. Personally, I would say just load it up with as much content as you can now. Don't worry about the metrics. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. Just get it to look full.
So do I post still shots? Do I post 30-second video clips of my YouTube videos?
Yeah.
I would do that too. Yeah.
Okay, so if I do that, how do I, like, if I did a 15-minute how-to thing and I share a 30-second segment of it, how do I, like, theoretically they're interested in seeing more. How do I get them from there to see the rest of it?
Let's start. Okay. You want to touch on that, Jose?
The way I always see it is either the more hustle is you have to put that new link every time into your bio. It takes time, it takes effort, da-da-da-da-da. What I've seen a lot of people do now is they use a program called Linktree or something like that. So when they click on that link, a window opens up. Yeah, right? I love it. It's so awesome to see that happen. A window opens up, and you can put your different links in there, and then the person will just click on the one you asked them to click on. Another way to do it would be, what's cool, because you don't have 10,000 followers. When you do stories, you don't have access to the swipe up feature. That's the simplest way to get somebody onto your links. So you post your video. You're saying, hey, there's a 7-minute video. Because it's Instagram stories, you can only put up 15 seconds. Swipe up to see more, and they'll get sent directly to your link. This happens when you have about 10 to 12,000 followers. Another way is IGTV.
Yep.
You can do a swipe up from your stories that goes to IGTV, and then in IGTV, you can leave a link in the description. Yeah. And then people can click from there.
Okay.
Obviously, the more
IGTV
steps,
is like, I'm saying like IGTV is more of like a longer form content. So it's going to be longer. I think for like if you post on Instagram, it's like a minute in length, but IGTV, it goes on a little bit longer.
I think it's 10.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So how do I do, like, my videos are all 16:9. I know IGTV is the portrait format.
I would say there's a program called Handbrake. I think Handbrake, it's like a free program that I believe it converts like resolution. Like if I think the resolution for like IGTV is 1080 by 1920, and for like the post it's 1080 by 1080. So you could just play around with that just to see how that comes out. Or you could even do a physical, like you could stand there and record, say, hey guys, you want to learn about such and such, check the link in the description, blah blah blah. You don't necessarily have to give like a post, or you could do like a still post, not necessarily like always a video. Mix it up every now and then.
Yeah, the two trains of thought. You can repurpose your content and just throw it in there and have it dead center, so you crop it, or exactly what he says. You just talk, because I've seen you do videos where you talk to the camera as comfortably as you want to, which is great because then you work on your personal brand as you. You could just say, hey guys, today I have these couple of videos. If you want to find out more about how to do this cool stuff, click the link below, or however the description, whatever. Just like you see on YouTube.
All right, so let's just walk through this again. I create an Instagram story with a 10-second, 20-second, whatever the limit is, clip of the video. They swap down to go to an Instagram story. IGTV. IGTV is me going, hey, I just made a video about, Facebook dark post. Click the link below, and that goes to the YouTube page.
Yeah.
So
that's the whole system.
yeah,
The
I'll say-
caveat to that is the more that somebody has to do, the more chances that they'll fall off, though. That's why Linktree is still pretty great.
so
What about
Trevor,
if I
I just
bio link and I change that to my actual main website that has like I do sevenfinger.com/blog, and then the top link is the video that I'm talking about most of the time.
Linktree makes it easy
That's
to do
perfect.
that though. Like, okay, so I just gave you like a follow, Trevor, on the Seven Fingers Marketing. Let's see. I think I followed you with my business account just like probably 10 seconds ago, maybe.
Buzzcrowd?
Yeah, there you go. If you click that, I have a link tree in that description. Like I pay like $6 a month. It's not that much. And if you click that, from there you could see like I have like a bunch of links set up. Like on the back end for Linktree, you could set up links to a bunch of different stuff.
Oh, wow.
Like it's endless what you could set up links to. Once you click that link, you could right there and then you find out what we do, website, schedule a consultation, a blog, and like other like platforms, social media platforms and stuff like that. So you could do the same with YouTube. You could make a link that says like, oh, latest videos or something like that.
Yeah.
Making it easy all in one place. You know what I mean?
That's
It's
actually
freaking awesome, dude. Just showing it for the people watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I started seeing people use that more often, I was like, that's just great. Because it turns a step into just like less than 3, probably less than 2 button clicks, actually. Yeah, 2 button clicks.
Yeah, I like that actually better than the other path, because I'm going to lose somebody along that path. Plus, that means I've got to edit this video. I've got to create this video and edit it just to get them to watch this video. It's a lot more time on my part. This actually looks pretty easy.
Yeah.
But the only downside to like Linktree is that you have to update that link every time. You know what I mean? Let's say, for example, you post a new video, you have to update that link with the new video. It's not like automatically done for you.
Well, it looks
copy
like,
paste.
is there a, like, if you had 6 links here, or are you limited to 4, or if you had 6, would it scroll?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would scroll, definitely. I could put like
You
a
could
ton
have
of more
your
links.
5 most recent links or videos there, and use one link tree for a few days.
Oh yeah, like for example, I saw like the tag manager. You could have like the tag manager, and then like in another video you could do like Google Analytics, and you could label the video like make it like, for example, you have it here, the title of this video is like Google Tag Manager Event Trigger How To Video. That could be the title for one of those buttons. You get what I mean?
Yeah, dude, this is
Daniel,
awesome.
Would you?
This is totally new to me, or I like learning, so this is awesome. I'll be using the shit out of this.
Real quick for Daniel, do you think there's a benefit there, Daniel? Like if you were to, like for his videos, if you were to just do 5 videos, the same for Brad or anybody really, you could turn that into like your personal page for like a mini course, couldn't you?
Like
there's like watch video 1 to figure this out, watch video 2 to figure this out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch video 3 to figure this out. Like with
That's
Brad, if
actually
you're
a brilliant
traveling to
idea,
Japan,
Yeah, that's a brilliant
have it
idea.
all there so that, like, because I was thinking about the binging content. You can literally
Yeah.
have them binge on your link tree that's going to your website over and over and over again, or your YouTube.
Yeah.
That's
That's
awesome.
definitely a good idea.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned that to me earlier, Jose.
Well,
Yeah, because that'd be dope.
thank you for that. That's exactly what I was wanting to know. That's, you know, we build Instagram accounts and set them up, and then kind of hand the keys over, and
Yeah.
they run them. You know,
Yeah.
we don't really do the post management of the Facebook ad or Instagram ad because honestly, most of my clients are small to medium business, and you know, they have their website done, they have their SEO done, they have their Facebook. When it comes down to Instagram, you know, they kind of cut the corner on having that managed, you know. So
Yeah.
I've never had other than my own stuff. So I kind of falter in that area, but I appreciate the information. But one more tidbit, and then we'll wrap this up. You remember talking about Zest?
Oh, that's a lifesaver. That's like a marketer survival. That's like everything I need to know is right there.
It's
Brilliant
good.
idea.
But I actually have recently used it in a different manner. I use the submission side. So yesterday I did the Google Tag Manager video.
Yeah.
I linked it. I built a blog post on my page, and then I submitted it. Within like 2 hours, I got an email back. And I've been communicating with these guys for a minute anyways. So this was not my first submission to them. But that video jumped to like 1,700 views. Like overnight.
Oh wow,
Oh yeah, I
That's
noticed
crazy.
that on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So
Yeah, that was dope.
in like 2 hours, they approved it or whatever.
That's crazy.
Then they actually made me, I don't know much about this, but they made me a chief.
Oh wow.
So I'm guessing that's kind of like, what's the Instagram blue ribbon thing?
The verification.
Verified.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's something similar to that because
Yeah.
I've put a decent bit of content in the past couple of weeks into Zest. So they made me that, and I submitted 3 today. I hadn't checked, but I don't know what they're looking like. But so from content submission side to get you know, people to come to your page and to watch your stuff, it's not a bad thing either. It's also a great source for information. But if I was creating content, which I am, if y'all are, I would definitely go to submit stuff to Zest.
I've never actually done that like I've seen it. I've been kind of like reluctant about doing it. For me, I personally thought like they would only like approve articles from like top people who were like big name in the digital marketing industry. That's pretty awesome though.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, submit it because all you're submitting is a link, so there's no process. They'll send you back an email that says we've received this. We'll review it, and like 2 hours later, I got an email from Yam that said, "Hey, this is great. It's approved." And this morning when I checked the YouTube video, it had like 1,700 views. I'm like, holy hell! I mean, granted, I shared it on my LinkedIn and other places too, so it wasn't all from there, but it was still. I'm sure it was a big contributor.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Well,
Pretty dope.
it's pretty late. I think I'm gonna split this video up.
I still haven't looked.
Oh, go ahead.
I haven't looked to the. Wait, it's Zest dot.
Yes.
It's not Zest.com, right?
No, it's Zest.is.
Yes, okay. I'll take a note of that.
Yeah.
And then you got to
Like, wait a
click
minute.
the thing. That says, go to my.
They're like a startup company.
Yeah, they're new.
They're raising a shit ton. Like I've heard things about them. They're changing the game in terms of like how content's distributed, and it's also how it's discovered. Like I have them, for me, like I don't know about you. Like I have the Google Chrome extension, and you can set that in terms of, like, for example, when you open up the browser and you see that welcome screen and it says, oh, new tab, this, like you have the option to send it to a search engine or something. I send it to Zest. Like every morning I get up, Zest is probably the first thing I check. I check it on my phone. Like it's a life changer.
It's good. It's a lot of really good content. That's how I used it for a minute. I don't think they're U.S. based either. I think they're based on the names of the two people I've been dealing with. I'm guessing Russian.
That is pretty dope. That is pretty dope.
But
Are there any restrictions
like millions
to the content you can drop?
Do what now?
Or is it like open forum? Are there any restrictions to the content you can drop, or is it just like open forum across the board? Like I was thinking for Brad, is that something he could do a YouTube video about?
It needs to be marketing related.
About travel and then drop it in there?
It's all, yeah.
Oh, it's marketing related?
All marketing.
Yeah. So Brad's
okay.
Straight,
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Unless he puts a marketing spin on travel, then maybe it'll be good.
Maybe in the future.
There you go. But everybody else,
talk about how you can make commissions by traveling.
Yeah, I would definitely submit some content if I was you guys.
Yeah. Hey, Brad, I want you to check out this dude.
The main reason I was hesitant is I really thought they were small. Like I thought I'll submit this, even if it gets approved, 4 people are going to watch it, but that wasn't the case at all.
Hey, what's up, Daniel?
No, I was saying, like, you should check out, like, I know this dude, like, personally. His name is Jabril. And he does pretty much just the same thing. Jabril, Jubril.
Okay.
He pretty much does the same thing that, you were planning on doing. But what he does is he is pretty much taking the content from, like, a blog post, repurposed it to, like, a podcast, to, like, a YouTube video, and he's made – he spends money to make videos and stuff like that, to write blog posts and whatnot, and ebooks and whatnot. But at the end of the day, he makes millions.
Really?
Millions, like absolutely millions.
Yeah, the travel industry is huge.
I'll copy his Instagram right now. And like he travels, he personally travels all over the world. He does what he does. He runs like Facebook ads for like big companies. He's really, really good at Facebook ads. Like absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, you know who else you want to check out, Brad?
What's up?
There's a website called The Points Guy. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Oh yeah, someone was just telling me about that guy. I was gonna look him up.
Look him up. Check out his blog. It'll be a really dope template to figure out how your blog should like. When I was working with people in the travel industry, he was top of the food chain for them. He was like the guy that they looked up to and said, "Yeah."
I was gonna actually learn
check
about
him out. Check out his blog.
Yeah.
Figure out how it's mimicked. Because I did a lot of research on his, like those tactics where you can find out where you can what are they called? Like is it Moz? Pretty much where you can see what their website is doing on the back end, like where their backlinks are and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I did all kinds of research for a company I was working with. I was like, oh wow, yeah, they're really knocking this out of the park. So if you want a template to follow, check out the Points Guy too.
Okay, I'll check it out
on the blog end.
Well, that's good.
Hey Daniel, where'd you send it?
I sent it like in the chat, in the
chat.
This chat, the Zoom chat.
Got it.
Probably. Right now, probably I would say like 15,000 followers, and like I've been following him since he had like 5,000, 2,000 followers.
Oh, he's almost 34 now.
Oh shit! There you go. There you go. I've been following him from he's like.
Oh, is it the guy that?
His name is Jabril. Yeah. He travels. He travels. And he's genius at Facebook marketing. Genius at Facebook marketing.
Well, guys,
like he has
you guys know that you can.
Y'all are more. I got to bounce, but y'all are more than welcome to stay if y'all.
Yeah.
But I appreciate y'all doing this, and I'm going to stop record. Actually, no. If I'm leaving, I have to stop recording. I think.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
Trevor,
All right.
See ya.
have a good one. We'll see you Sunday.